Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We continue reading from Caitanya Caritamta Adi Lila chapter 8. We have been reading the purport to text 19 by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And we continue reading. While executing devotional service, one must be naturally inclined to serve Krishna in one of these transcendental relationships. So we read yesterday that there are 5 rasas, transcendental rasas. 5 eternal relationships that we can have with God, with Krishna, in the mode of a servant, the dasyaras. Well, before that is the shantaras, neutrality. Neutrality, like the mode of a flower or a flute or a cow or a peacock with Krishna. Then the dasyaras, mode of a servant with Krishna. So Krishna has many servants, like Rakta, Pakta, many servants. Then Sakyaras, the mood of a friend, cowherd friend. Krishna has so many gopas. Some names are Subal, Sridham, Madhumangal, Krishna Stoka. Then the mood of parents. So the elderly gopis and gopas, the friends of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. They have a relationship with Krishna as a mood to take care of him as a parent. And then the highest is the conjugal love, the mood of the gopis. So, and all these relationships are based in the foundation that I am an eternal servitor of Krishna. It's not that the mood is, I'm going to enjoy Krishna. That, oh, I will become Krishna's lover and I'm going to tell him dance for me and he will dance. But yeah, sure, Krishna will dance, but what is our mood? Is our mood a mood of service or a mood of exploitation? You know, if we continue to have this mood of exploitation, then Krishna is not going to reveal us. But yes, once he sees that we are sincere, we want to have this service mode, then Krishna, he makes the arrangements. So that is the actual success of life, to have this service attitude for Krishna. So we may not have it because we want to be the enjoyer. Why should I serve Krishna? Who is he? Why should I serve him? But if somehow or the other we can get even the desire that I wish I can serve Krishna, that in itself is glorious. And Krishna will make all arrangements for us. For a devotee to get liberation is not very difficult. Even one who is unable to establish a relationship with Krishna can achieve liberation by merging into the Brahman effulgence. This is called Sayojya Mukti. So there are 5 types of liberation. Sayojya Mukti is a mukti in which the soul, the Jivatma, enters into the Brahma Jyoti and thinks that, okay, I have become God now. Because I've entered into the Brahma Jyoti, so I have become the Parabrahman. So this is Sayojya Mukti. Vaishnavas never accept Sayojya Mukti, although sometimes they accept the other forms of liberation. So why a Vaishnav never accepts Sayojya Mukti? Why? Because a Vaishnav always wants to be with Krishna, always wants to serve Krishna. But in the Brahman, there is no opportunity to serve Krishna. It's just light. There's nothing else. There's no variety. There's nothing to do. So then the devotee says, what am I going to do here? How long can I sit here doing nothing? The devotee wants to always serve Krishna, be with Krishna. So they sometimes accept the other forms of liberation. What are the other forms of liberation? Sarupya. Sarupya. Krishna allows that. He gives the living entities. What is that? A form same like himself. That's called Sarupya Mukti. So in the Vaikuntha planets, and every Vaikuntha planet, the main personality, every Vaikuntha planet is ruled by an expansion of Krishna in his Vishnu form. So there are so many names: Anirudh, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, Vasudev, so many different names. So Krishna, if we want, I want to look like Vishnu also. I want to have 4 arms like him. Krishna allows that. And we can go to the Vaikuntha Lok in the spiritual world and actually have a form, Narayan form, which looks same like Krishna. The only difference is that Lord Narayan himself, he has the Srivatsa mark on his chest. It's like a white hair. That is Lakshmi Devi, who's always sitting on his chest. That he doesn't give to the living entities. They look like him, but they will not have this. And the Kaustubha jewel. He has a jewel called the Kaustubha jewel. Only he has it. That the living entities don't have. But everything else same. The crown, the four hands with the mace, everything, whatever we want, he can give. Salokya, being on the same planet as Krishna. He allows that. Being on the same planet. So, of course, if we reach Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu is there. Krishna is there in his expansion as Lord Vishnu. And we are living on that planet. So it's Salokya. Samipya. Samipya is to be in close association. Close association. And Samipya. And Sashti. Now, what is Sashti? One moment. So one is to get the same to enter into the Brahmajyoti. Then one is to live on the same planet. Sashti is same opulence. One wants to be as rich as God. He says, sure, come, I'll give you all my opulences. So because if we are living in Vaikuntha, of course, everything is so opulent. And Krishna is saying, yeah, you take. A pure devotee, however, does not accept any kind of mukti. No, we'll say, why? What's wrong with a pure devotee? The whole world says, Mujhe mukti chahiye. I want mukti, and the devotee does not want mukti. What's happening? What's wrong with him? He wants only to serve Krishna in a transcendental relationship. He wants to be situated in any one of the 5 rasas with Krishna, the Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya. Any one of the 5 rasas. He wants to be with Krishna. He wants to have a relationship with Krishna. This is the perfectional stage of spiritual life. So we may say relationship. Relationship means material. But we have to understand this body is dead. Once the soul leaves the dead body has no relationship with anyone. And in the material world, our relationships are all temporary. They're temporary, they're going to end at one time. This material world is a perverted reflection of the true reality in the spiritual world. So the true relationships are in the spiritual world. Each of us, we have an eternal relationship with Krishna. That is the real liberation. That is, we need to be situated in that relationship. This is the perfectional stage of spiritual life. So there's nothing higher than that. Once we are already situated in our relationship with Krishna, that's the perfection. That is self-realization, to understand who am I truly, what is my identity, what's my name, what's my form, what's my relationship with Krishna. Once we know that, that's the perfection. Now, someone may imagine it, that I'm so and so and I have this relationship with Krishna. But again, if it's just an imagination, then it's not based in truth. This is something we need to realize it ourselves. Mayavadi philosophers desire to merge into the existence of the Brahman effulgence. Although this aspect of liberation is always neglected by devotees. So there are certain group of people who want to, their highest goal is that I want to go to merge in the Brahman. But a devotee does not aspire for this. Devotee does not want. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, describing this kind of mukti, which is called Kaivalya, or becoming one with the Supreme, has said, Kaivalyam narakayate, becoming one with the Supreme is as good as going to hell. So Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, one of the great acharyas, one of the great devotees, why is he saying such words? Why is he using such words? What's happening? Why? Because the devotee wants to be with Krishna. For him, anywhere where Krishna is not there is as good as hell for him. He wants to have that personal relationship with Krishna. Therefore, the ideal of Mayavad philosophy, becoming one with the Supreme, is hellish for a devotee. He never accepts it. Mayavadi philosophers do not know that even if they merge into the effulgence of the Supreme, this will not give them ultimate rest. An individual soul cannot live in the Brahman effulgence in a state of inactivity. After some time, he must desire to be active. So why does the devotee not want to go to the Brahman? Because the devotee understands the nature of the soul. He understands that it is the soul that is always active. It's not the body. The body is dead. No dead body gets up and moves around. We will all get scared. What happened? Why is the dead body moving? So the activity is not with the body. Activity is with the soul. And because of that, because the activity is with the soul, the devotee understands that. And he understands that there is nothing to do in the Brahman, in the Brahma Jyoti. There's nothing to do. So he knows that even if I go to the Brahman, after some time, I'll get bored and I will want to act, and then I will have to come to the material world. So, however, since he's not aware of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore has no spiritual activity, he must come down for further activities in this material world. So even if a soul reaches the Brahman, after he reaches the Brahman, he's very happy, very, very happy, very effulgent, because the soul is very effulgent and there's so much peace in the Brahman. There is no anxiety, no miseries. And so time passes. But after some time, he gets bored and he doesn't know what to do. And because he doesn't know about spiritual life, he does not know that Krishna exists, he does not know that there are spiritual activities, that there is devotional service, there's bhakti, then this soul comes and the only thing he knows is material world and material activities. So he comes to the material world. And for this reason, the devotees do not aspire to go to the Brahman. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, Text 32. Aruya krichrena parampadam tataha patanti adho anadrata yusmad angrayaha. Because Mayavadi philosophers have no information regarding the transcendental service of the Lord, even after attaining liberation from material activities and merging into the Brahman effulgence, they must come down again to this material world to open hospitals or schools or perform similar philanthropic activities. So even if we reach the Brahman, if we have not if we have not understood Krishna, if we don't know anything about spiritual life, spiritual activities, we will come to this material world again. And so that's the reason the Brahman liberation is not a permanent situation. It is liberation, yes, but it is temporary, only for a short time. Maybe that short time could be millions of years, but at one time or the other, the soul will come back to the earth, to this material world, could be any planet of the material world, until and unless the soul can meet some devotees in the Brahman. But usually there's no devotees in the Brahman. Why? Because the devotees want to be with Krishna himself. So that's the reason. Are there any questions or comments? So we should desire to go to the highest planet in the Vaikuntha, the highest planet, Golok Vrindavan. That is our home, going back home, back to Godhead, being with Krishna. Well, all the Vaikuntha planets is the spiritual sky. But the highest planet where Krishna himself lives is the Golok Vrindavan. The other planet, someone may be attracted to Lord Vishnu, and that's very, very good. Very, very good. Um, but there are some devotees who are attracted to Krishna himself, and their destination is to go to Golok Vrindavan. So Golok Vrindavan is in the highest planet in the spiritual world, and we should somehow or the other desire to go there. And the more we hear and the more we chant, the desire will get stronger. So we'll stop here for today. Caitaniya Caritamta ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening and enjoying.